Welcome to Setting the Stage. I'm Brooke Savage. The Lion King is coming to the Dr. Phillips Center next week, and it will be here for nearly 4 weeks. Eric D. Patrick plays Simba in the show, and he is here to tell us all about it. Eric, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you much for having me be here.
Okay, so first off, I usually start off with where are you from and how you got into acting?
Signal's cutting out.
Uh, your signal's cutting out. Hold on one second. Can you hear me?
Yes. So I'm originally from
Because it's not connecting. I'm wondering if he's like on. Can you hear us? Looks like we're still having some technical difficulties. Give us 1 second while we work to figure it out. Okay, can you hear me now, Eric?
I can, yes.
Okay, so let's start that again. Where are you from and
Okay.
how did you get into acting?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. Um I got into acting through singing, really. I always sang in church, and it kind of like helped me be expressive, and it got me used to being in front of crowd. Acting was just kind of the next, like natural progression. So I ended up going to school for that, and yeah, here I am.
That is so cool. I sometimes hear that from actors how like they got started in church. I definitely did that whole church
Yeah.
singing thing, so I could definitely relate
Oh
to
yeah.
that. What made you want to audition for Lion King? Do you have any connections to the movie and the musical?
Yeah, so it's funny. I hope that my producer's too mad at me, but I tend to tell this story. I never thought that I would be in The Lion King. I didn't think it was the show for me. I would turn down the auditions often, and it took my fiance being on the tour and her being like, "Hey, I think you'd be really great in the show." So then I reached out to my agent, and it's actually been one of the best experiences of my life.
Wow, why do you think you had that initial reaction to the musical?
I'm not sure. I think I just didn't know enough about it. And honestly, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I think I was a little scared of the role and everything that I would have to do to be good in the role. So I think after I got over that, it's been amazing.
Wow, that is incredible. It's always interesting how things work out. What does it mean to be for you to be part of a show that, spans across, a few generations?
It's honestly unlike anything I've done, because oftentimes, you know, I I know what the impact was for me when I was a child, but when I come out of the stage door and I see how it's impacting not only not only children but also their parents and their grandparents and the aunts and uncles. It's pretty magical to see how long show has lasted and how it's impacted everyone.
Absolutely. And what is some of the feedback you get from people when you meet with fans?
Oh, well, first of all, people are always surprised at how short I am. That's the first thing. I think being on the stage, they have this like false sense that I'm like really tall. I'm not super tall, or I'm not super short, but they're always a little confused about that. But they're also very just amazed with the puppetry and some of the mask work and the story. I think that there's a lot of things that the movie there's a lot of things that the musical incorporates that the movie does not. And I think that people are always blown away if they're expecting the movie, um, because there's just so many more layers to the way that we tell the story.
Absolutely. You mentioned a little bit about the puppetry. I saw the musical on Broadway, but it's been a while since I've seen it. Do you use any puppetry yourself?
So for Simba, we just use the mask. Now the mask is it does take a second to get used to, and it is like an extension of it's an extension of me. So, we have a lot of Balinese and Javanese movements throughout the show, and it's a lot of neck and a lot of, kind of ticks like that. So we try to allow the mask to tell the story as well.
Absolutely. How do you relate to Simba?
Uh, on so many levels, and I'm still like discovering them as I continue to do it. But I mean, I think we all can relate to a journey of self-discovery. I think no matter how old you are, no matter what you're going through in life, we're always kind of on the path to finding oneself. And Simba's doing just that. And as I find things out about Simba every night, I also am finding things out about myself. So it's kind of like a full circle moment a little bit. It's kind of like therapy in a way.
I have heard about how acting can be, very therapeutic. That is so cool to hear.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
So you mentioned a little bit about the puppetry and things like that. What is some behind the scenes info that you think not a lot of people know about? Like what's going on backstage during the show?
Hmm. Um, there's a lot. There's a lot happening backstage during the show. Um, but it's such a well-oiled machine. There's so many people backstage, so many performers, so many stagehands, so much of the crew, but everyone knows um exactly what to do and exactly where to go at the exact time. It's odd. Like I think that if I were to like zoom out and like get like a bird's eye view, we'd look like a beehive or something where everyone has a very specific job and everyone's doing it and we don't really think about it. We're just kind of doing it.
That is a great way to describe it. Now, you mentioned this already,
Yeah.
but what can people expect from the show? How is it different from the movie?
Yeah, well, we did speak about this. The puppetry, first and foremost, is it's truly one of a kind. Like the things that Julie Taymor was able to do with this show is just remarkable. Um, like I said, we have masks and the puppetry, but we have there's like always two stories going on. There's a story that I, the actor, am telling on my face, and then you can also look up at the mask and see that even though it's a wooden mask, there's still emotion through the puppets. And it's really unlike anything that's out there.
Yeah. Are there any other like different songs that are in the musical but not in the movie?
Yes, there's several. The one that my big song in the show, Endless Night, is um, kind of like our 11 o'clock number, where Simba really realizes that he he realizes what he must do and how he must go back to face his past and to you know um, take the throne. Um, and that song is not in the movie.
Interesting. And what is your favorite part of the show?
Uh, okay, so it's a toss up between Circle of Life. Circle of Life is just amazing in itself. Every night I'm blown away by it. And our Nala, Timby, sings Shadowland, and it is one of the most beautiful interpretations of the song I've ever heard. Um, so yeah, yeah, that's got to be one of my favorites.
That is, you know what? You're making me so excited for the show just explaining it, not gonna lie. Those are definitely some iconic moments just from the movie and from the musical. I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
What is the main message you hope people take from the show?
I hope that people will leave with the idea that you can always find your way back. That no matter how far you stray from the beaten path, you can always go back. You can always start again. Yeah, self-discovery.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if you are aware of this, but this show is going to be in Orlando. You're going to be performing at the Walt Disney Theater. Have you
Mm-hmm.
ever been to Orlando before? I just feel I have to imagine this audience might be a little bit different compared to other audiences.
Yeah, I have not actually been to Orlando, so I am super excited. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Do you think you're going to visit any of the theme parks while you're here or anything like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My first off day, we're off on that Monday. I will definitely be at the parks for sure.
Have you seen that show, the Lion King show at the Animal Kingdom? I think it'd be cool for you to check that out if you haven't already.
Funny enough, we have a couple company members who have done that show. So yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, is there anything else you want to
Yeah.
bring up about the Lion King?
Just make sure you're on time. You do not want to miss Circle of Life. The ushers are very strict. So make sure you get there with ample time because Circle of Life is just a number that you're gonna think about for the rest of your life. So be sure to get there early.
Absolutely. Well, again, The Lion King will be at the Dr. Phillips Center starting next week on April 23rd. And again, it will be here for nearly 4 weeks. I also posted details on clickorlando.com/setting the stage. Eric, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too. Take care.